Haven't seen you in a while, and it's time that I got on and explained things. So this is not a normal video about, bags or shopping or Christmas lists or gifts or any of those fun things. This is just a quick video for my sweet, sweet viewer friends who have been asking about me, and they, knowing that some things have gone wrong and what's happening and so forth. So this is for you. I just wanted to come on real quick and explain what's been happening in the last 6 months of my life and so forth. And it's kind of been hanging over my head. So I really wanted to address this. It'll be quick. If you, if this isn't your thing, that's fine. I will hopefully be back with more normal things soon. But yes, if you'd like to know where I've been and what's been happening and how things are going lately, stay with me. Okay, first, yes, I just got my hair cut. Yeah, I don't know. I just decided I was finished with the super long hair for a while, and I just got some layers thrown in, and it's shorter, but it grows, and I don't know, I'm kind of enjoying it shorter for now, so that's that. But anyway, okay, I'm gonna try to just put this all in a nutshell as much as possible. So I'm going to just sort of condense it and give you some dates, and it's all just gonna seem like whatever, but I don't know how else to say some of this stuff, and I'm just gonna throw it out there pretty much for you all. But in general, this last year, the year before was crazy with, the pandemic and so forth. But this last year has been especially difficult. The 2020 we were very much aware that my mother was starting to struggle with her memory and things like that. And we knew, my dad was 91 last March. So we knew the time was coming where they probably needed to move away from the home. So we started the process of finding a place for them to live. Went into a whole bunch of, situations for that. I'm sure many of you have been through this. Plus we, having to sell the family home and go through all the things. And that's been a lot of trips back and forth. And it was a lot of memories and a lot of everything all at the same time. But basically we found a place for my parents, and they moved in June 4th. And they were both together in an apartment there in independent living. And that only lasted for about 2 weeks. And my mom was moved to memory care. The move itself was just a lot for her. And many times things like that makes dementia a little bit worse. And in fact, it did. So she was moved up to memory care, which is in the same building, which was very good. But wow, what a change from the family home, them living together, to now they're living in 2 separate places in a completely different town. There are reasons for all this, just, but anyway, it was so much. And then living apart. So they weren't even in the same place together. They were in the same building, not the same apartment or whatever. So mom is now in memory care at the time, and dad is on his own in this apartment, brand new to him, only 2 weeks in. That was a huge adjustment. So my sister and I have been, going back and forth constantly, really a lot, as often as we possibly can. She lives in San Diego. I live in Illinois. My parents are in Indiana. So it's been a lot, but it's been well worth it. We got their apartment all set up really nice, and we got to help them know the area and so forth as much as we could. So middle of June, mom moves into memory care, and that's a huge adjustment again. And so we're setting up her room there now, and it's been a lot. So as she's there, July comes along, and then my dad gets hospitalized for pneumonia. So here he is, 91 years old with pneumonia. Who pulls out of that, but he did. I went immediately to go be with him and take care of him because my mom couldn't go by herself. So I got mom out of memory care. We went together to visit him in the hospital, all that stuff, got him back when he was released and settled in, and he's doing much better. So there's that. So then soon after that, I have dates on here because I cannot remember all this. In August, mostly we had a lot of visits and things, but her dementia was definitely getting worse, and we were noticing it was just getting worse, and it was not a good time, but we were dealing with everything the best we could and helping as much as we could. So then on September 20th, my mom fell while she was on the phone talking to me. She fell and broke her hip. So basically, if you have dementia to begin with, if you go under anesthesia, it brings it on even more. So the anesthetics, for whatever reason, make the dementia get worse faster. So I was warned, you know, from this, they warned me everything. And just getting over a surgery when you already have dementia, it makes it go faster. And so yes, we were warned, but what can you do? She had a broken hip. So she had a actually partial hip replacement done on September 20th. Okay, so we're back and forth to the hospital and stuff for that and everything. Now, 3 days later, my daughter, my youngest daughter, Claire, who is the mama of Gracie, my granddog, moved to North Carolina. Now, this was something that we knew was coming and we knew it was happening and, you know, the date was set and all that kind of thing. But 3 days after the, mom surgery, she moved there. And I didn't have Gracie in my life every day anymore, which was just, you know, I didn't really have her every day either. She lived in a condo, a town over from me. But anyway, my Gracie was in a whole other state, you know, like 12 hours away, drive-wise. So anyway, that's okay. It's a great situation for her. And, you know, I knew they could come home soon. So then she was able to come back. They flew back just a few weeks later for my other daughter, Callan's birthday, which was wonderful. And we had them here for a while then. And then they also came back for Thanksgiving. So we've had them here for that too. They were here for a week at Thanksgiving. So I have been able to see my Gracie and that has made things better. And my Claire, of course, my daughter, that's made things better going through all this. And every time Claire and Gracie would come up, we would take them, we'd get in the car and go visit my parents. And Gracie calls my parents, Gigi and Pop Pop, and she knew exactly where Pop Pop lived, where his apartment was. You just put her anywhere near the hallway, way down the thing. She went beeline straight for Pop Pop's door. It's the cutest thing ever. So anyway, we've been visiting with her and had taken her up to see mom and stuff. So that's been good. Now, on October 6th, so she had her surgery like the 21st of September. October 6th, she's back, you know, from the health center, tried to recover a little bit and back to where she was in memory care. Now, her memory obviously wasn't that good. She's in memory care. She kept forgetting that she couldn't get up. And she's a very busy woman, always was her whole life. We always said she had springs in her butt. She can't sit still, has to get up and do things. She cannot sit. So she's in a chair and she needs to sit because she's recovering. She had physical therapy and stuff, but she needs to recover. She couldn't remember that. So she would try to just jump up and do things whenever, and she sustained several falls. She fell and had to go to the hospital and get a splint on one of her fingers. Then she fell again and hit a desk and had to get 3 staples in her head. So these things just going on and on and on, right? She fell out of bed trying to get out by herself, and we thought she redamaged her hip, so I had to go back to the hospital to check. She didn't. So these things are all happening, right? So she's trying her best to, you know, they're giving her the meds that they can to help her through it all, but it was just very, very difficult. So what they decided to do was put her in a hospital setting for people to just kind of get her off of the meds that they had tried with her already and start anew and see if they could find a medical medicine cocktail, so to speak, that would work for her in her situation and make her the happiest, the most calm and so forth with her dementia and her pain. So she was there. It was supposed to be about 7 to 10 days, and she ended up being there for 5 weeks. So that was, you know, a lot of visits, and seeing the differences in her and stuff was just something. I mean, it was going downhill quickly, you know, her ability to do things and to speak and all that kind of stuff. It was really fast. I mean, it had only been like 3 months when she'd moved into independent living, you know. I mean, it's like, what is happening? So she just moved out of the hospital setting with the medicines and back to her memory care place. It was only like a little over a week ago. She moved back, and right as soon as that happened, they were suspecting it when she was in the hospital, but right as soon as that happened, she basically was going so far downhill that they decided that she was, at this point, a few days later, actively dying. Now, I don't know if you've ever heard the term actively dying. This is something I've had to learn about and so forth, but in a nutshell, what it means is the body is then showing active signs that death is imminent, you know, so you like get them on hospice, come visit, you know, if you want to say your goodbyes, now is the time. So just different physical things like skin is modeling, or different breathing, or, you know, they no longer hold their mouth closed, or, you know, that type of fever. Sometimes they get a fever before they pass. So was a week ago Monday. We were called and we got hospice set up for her, and they basically said she's definitely in the active dying stage. So if you want to come, you need to be here. Of course, I'd come a million times already, but I needed to be there. So I call my sister and tell her, and she gets on a flight. She and her husband flew there that day, and my husband and Callan, my oldest daughter, and I threw stuff in a bag. I had just been at strength training, didn't even change my clothes, threw things in a bag, went there, didn't know how long we'd stay, whatever. So we're all there, and we basically got to just spend days and days sitting there with my mom, talking to her, you know, telling stories, laughing, a lot of crying. But I did get to tell her, you know, everything I ever wanted to tell her, and 100 times. And my sister and I were kind of crying that we were saying, I love you so much that it had to be annoying. But yeah, it was a weird but beautiful time. You know, weird to think it's beautiful, but it was. I got to say goodbye for days, you know what I mean? And support my dad through it and things, because, you know, it was rough for him to see her like that and so forth. And I got to be with my sister throughout it. And my daughter was reading from my mom's favorite, you know, Bible verses and things, just sitting by her reading that. And, you know, mostly she was completely unresponsive, but there were times where you could catch her and she'd move her eyes over to you and look you straight in the eye, you know? And so you would know then that she heard you, you know? It was absolutely beautiful. You know, it really, really was. Well, anyway, so we spent those days by her side, told her everything we needed to tell her, said our goodbyes, you know, all that stuff. So my mom passed away Friday, this last Friday, hasn't even been a week, Friday the 10th, December 10th. And she is now at peace, which is the best part, because she wasn't before. Even before the downward spiral in her dementia, she was not at peace. She wasn't the happily confused kind of dementia. For whatever reason, she had more of the anxiety and the paranoia and, you know, frightened a lot. And that was no fun to try to help her through all the frightening, you know, when she's terrified, and I'm getting calls all the time, you know, that she's saying these really scary things that, you know, that she thinks is really happening and going to happen to her. It was horrifying. It was really bad. So anyway, now she's at peace, and she's not with us anymore. And we expected it, but it was way earlier than we thought. She's 84. My dad will be 92 in March. And we always thought Dad would be the first. It was just, I don't know, it did not even occur to us that Mom would be the first to go. It didn't occur to him either. I think it was a shock for him also, and still kind of is. So anyway, that's that. We are going on with arrangements and all sorts of things, and the things that you need to do when a loved one passes. And being 2 weeks before Christmas, you know, and I love Christmas and the holidays, and we are going to take a page out of her book and celebrate with her. We're, you know, she's in our mind and our hearts and our souls always, so she'll be with us for Christmas. And we're just getting through this one day at a time, and the best we know how, and we'll be okay. But it's extremely sad learning how to live without her. My phone's ringing, hold on. Sorry, my husband called. Typical, right? I sit down to do a video and that happens. It always happens like that. So anyway, no big deal. He's in Germany right now. So yeah, I needed to take that call. Anyway, that's that. I'm just now 2 weeks to Christmas, trying to get the things done that I want. I want Christmas to be like usual, but I'm giving myself a bit of a break on things. We have Claire and Gracie definitely going to be here, and it'll be nice to have her home. And yeah, I have to now learn how to live life without my mom in it, and how am I supposed to have Christmas without Mom? You know, I mean, all those things are just going to hit me for a year. It does. It takes time, and I'll be kind with myself about it. But as devastated as I am, I'm so happy she's no longer in pain. She's no longer, you know, miserable. She's no longer scared, you know, paranoid, all that. So she's at peace now, which really makes me feel good. And now we are just circling the wagons and definitely being there for my dad. And we're going to go see him soon before Christmas and all sorts of stuff. So anyway, we're dealing with it one bit at a time. These things happen, and that's what's happening. And during this, by the way, when I first realized that, I've pretty much already lost my mom even before she passed, was I had a colonoscopy about 4 weeks ago. And I had a polyp removed, and it was quite large. And generally they were telling me that if you have a polyp that large, there's darn good chance that it already has cancer cells in it. So they did a biopsy, and I was waiting for the results. And that was like right before Thanksgiving, I believe. And I was waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting. It was a little over a week. And I finally, I was thinking maybe I had cancer. And I'm thinking, oh my gosh, this can't really right now of all, but whatever, I'll deal. And I wanted to call my mom, and the very first thing when you have a scare like that is, I don't know about you, but I always wanted to call my mom. If I get a cold, and I'm sniffing and sneezing and sore throat, I want to call my mom. I just wanted her to know, And when I realized that I can't tell her that, number one, it would either frighten her or she wouldn't really understand or whatever, no, I wasn't going to do that to her. So I had to go through that scare for the week, without letting her know, because I wasn't going to do that to her. But, that's when I first realized, I don't have my mom anymore for that. So, but I sure let my dad know, and he was with me and asking every day, did you get your results? Did you get your results? So, yeah, I've still got him for as long as I have him, and I hope it's a long time. So anyway, that's that. I just wanted to share that with you. So many of you have been so sweet. I know you've been understanding. You've known there's been some stuff going on. So hopefully I'll give myself some time to do Christmas with my family and to just take time to just reflect and think and just, have a life of my own here. And, all the ideas and stuff for all the Christmas vlogging and videos and stuff just kind of not important right now to me, although my channel and the things I do, those things are very important to me, but right now not as much because of the situation, and I hope to be back to it soon. I just want to get this out of the way and let you know and thank all of you from the bottom of my heart for all your support. I've gotten a few gifts from sweet people. Kathy, you are wonderful. You know how sweet you are, and you know how important that gift was to me. I've gotten cards, people worried about me, saying that they know that things, I've gotten emails, I've gotten direct messages. You guys are all absolutely amazing people, and I love you from the bottom of my heart to the tip of my head and everywhere else. I thank you. So I wanted to be honest with you and let you know what's going on, and I've not forgotten about you. You're always on my mind, so I needed to get this out. Anyway, rambling, a lot of it. Okay, we'll stop. Take care. I'm not sure when I'll be back, but hopefully it won't be too long. And in the meantime, happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, all of that. And I will be back with you guys soon. You're too important to me. I wouldn't just leave you. So thanks so much. Bye.